In the heart of Noctis City stood an old apartment building known as Raven Heights, a place surrounded by strange rumors, a place where people disappeared without a trace. Tonight, a storm covered the city, and deep within the darkness, something was waiting. 17-year-old Aiden Crow had just arrived. He was looking for a fresh start, a new home, a normal life. But Raven Heights was far from normal. The moment he stepped inside, he felt something watching him. The lobby was silent. Too silent. The lights flickered above his head. Every hallway felt empty. Yet somehow, Aiden couldn't shake the feeling that he wasn't alone. After unpacking his belongings, Aiden tried to relax. Rain continued to strike the windows. Lightning flashed across the sky, looking out over the city. He wondered if moving here had been a mistake. That's when he saw her, a girl standing quietly at the end of the hallway. Her silver hair reflected the dim lights. Her violet eyes seemed almost unnatural, as if she already knew something he didn't. Her name was Alara Knight, one of the residents of Raven Heights. She stared at Aiden for a moment. Then she gave him a warning that would soon change everything. Whatever happens, never use the elevator at 3:13 a.m. Aiden laughed nervously. It sounded like nothing more than an urban legend, but Alara wasn't smiling. She looked genuinely afraid. Without another word, she disappeared into the darkness of the hallway, leaving Aiden alone with a warning he would never forget. The storm grew stronger outside. Thunder shook the building, but sleep refused to come. Aiden lay awake in bed. Something felt wrong, as if the apartment itself was holding its breath. Lightning flashed across the room. Aiden glanced at the clock. 3:12 a.m. Just 1 minute before the time Alara had warned him about. Then suddenly, he heard it. Ding. The sound of the elevator arriving. Aiden immediately sat up. His heart skipped a beat. Nobody should have been awake at this hour. Curiosity slowly replaced fear. He stepped toward his apartment door. Carefully, he looked through the peephole. The hallway was empty, completely empty. Yet the elevator doors stood open, waiting, silent, motionless, as if it wanted him to come closer. Aiden opened his door. The cold hallway air sent chills down his spine. Step by step, he approached the elevator. Inside, there was nobody. Then he noticed something strange. Only one button was glowing. Floor 14. Aiden frowned. Raven Heights only had 13 floors. So why was there a button for a 14th? Before he could answer that question, the elevator doors suddenly began to close. Aiden stood frozen inside the elevator. The doors had already closed. There was no turning back now. Slowly, the elevator began to rise. The old cables groaned above him. Every second felt longer than the last. The floor display changed. 11, 12, 13. Everything seemed normal. But then, something strange happened. The display flickered violently. The lights inside the elevator dimmed. For a moment, the numbers disappeared completely. Then a new number appeared. 14. Aiden's heart began to race. A cold chill ran through his body. The elevator stopped. Slowly, the doors opened. What waited outside wasn't another floor. It was something else entirely. Beyond the elevator stood an endless hallway. The corridor stretched far beyond what should have been possible. Darkness swallowed the distance. Flickering lights buzzed overhead, and the air felt strangely cold. Every wall was covered in photographs. Hundreds of them. Old, dusty, forgotten. Aiden stepped forward cautiously. His flashlight illuminated the endless collection. The photographs weren't normal. Every picture showed someone terrified. Some were crying. Some were screaming. Some looked as if they were running from something horrifying. Aiden walked deeper into the hallway. The feeling of being watched grew stronger. The deeper he went, the quieter everything became. Not even his own footsteps sounded normal anymore. Then suddenly, Aiden stopped. Something in one of the photographs caught his attention. Something impossible. Something that should not have existed. Slowly, he raised his flashlight, and what he saw made his blood run cold. Aiden slowly raised his flashlight toward the photograph. His hands began to tremble. His breathing became heavier. Then he saw it. The photograph showed him, standing in the exact same hallway, wearing the exact same clothes, holding the exact same flashlight. It was impossible. Aiden stepped backward in shock. His mind searched for an explanation, but none existed. How could a photograph of him already be here? He had never seen this place before. Yet somehow ... it had seen him. The hallway suddenly became silent, unnaturally silent. The buzzing lights stopped. The air felt heavier, as though the entire floor was watching him. Aiden slowly turned around. His flashlight illuminated the darkness behind him. Nothing. No movement. No sound. Only endless shadows. Then he heard it. A whisper. Soft. Cold. Barely audible. Yet somehow ... it sounded as if someone was standing right beside him. You shouldn't have come here. Aiden spun around instantly. His flashlight swept across the corridor, but there was nobody there. The voice had vanished, leaving only silence behind. Then something moved, far away. At the very end of the hallway, a dark silhouette stood motionless, watching him. Aiden aimed his flashlight toward the figure. The light revealed a tall shape, far taller than any human. Its body looked like living darkness. Then Aiden saw its face, and his blood ran cold. A giant smile stretched across its face, wide, unnatural, impossible. Beneath that smile, two glowing white eyes stared directly at him, unblinking, watching. The creature slowly tilted its head. Its neck twisted at an impossible angle, and despite the distance, Aiden felt as though it was standing right in front of him. For the first time that night, he understood the truth. He wasn't alone, and whatever this thing was, it had been waiting for him. Aiden sprinted through the endless hallway. His footsteps echoed through the darkness. The corridor seemed to stretch forever. No matter how fast he ran ... the end never came. The photographs blurred beside him. Hundreds of terrified faces watched from the walls. Then, something appeared ahead. A glowing exit sign. Hope surged through Aiden's chest. He ran toward the door, reached for the handle, and threw it open. What waited inside wasn't freedom. It was another secret. The room was small, dark, silent. Every wall was covered in messages, warnings, names, desperate cries for help, written by people who had never escaped. One message stood above all the others, written in large, uneven letters. Don't let IT see your eyes. Aiden stared at the warning, confused, terrified. Suddenly, new words began appearing on the wall, as if an invisible hand was writing them. Slowly, letter by letter, a message revealed itself. Too late. The room fell silent. Then every light exploded at once. Darkness swallowed everything. Aiden couldn't see, couldn't move, couldn't breathe. Then Aiden stepped back. What are you talking about? Ilara's expression became serious. Then she revealed a black symbol on her hand. The same symbol that was carved onto the red door. Because ... She whispered, I've been trapped between both worlds for 7 years. Suddenly, every elevator in Raven Heights opened at the same time. And from inside them, dozens of glowing eyes stared out into the darkness. Two glowing white eyes appeared, followed by a massive smile. The smiling shadow emerged from the darkness, and for the first time, it spoke. Welcome to the last floor, Aiden. Aiden froze, because somehow, the monster already knew his name.